America, we got to get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. Hey, it's Friday. Good morning, everybody. I'm so damn glad it's Friday. Don't know about you. I know about me. I'm wiped. Been another long week. Hope you've all had a good week. And I wish everybody nothing but the best when it comes to this weekend. Mean that. I know it's tiring when you follow this shit, when you stay informed, when you try to stay engaged. I know it can be exhausting. You've got to live your lives. You've got to live your lives. We're not on this planet, this rock for an eternity. So you've got to live your lives as well. But we have a fight right now at this point in our lives to save this democracy and the rule of law. Couple things I want to get off my chest this Friday. We'll get to those issues in a moment. First, though, a final clip from my conversation with 7 good people sitting around a kitchen table. Again, this week, we've been showing you content from a conversation I had in the western suburbs of Chicago, Glen Ellen to be specific. 7 people sitting around a kitchen table, 4 Harris voters, 1 Trump voter, 2 voters who voted for neither Trump or Harris. 7 of us sitting around a table, part of my, getting out there every week, talking to the American people. Today, can we stay together? That fundamental question. Can this great experiment in democracy stay together? Can this country quite literally stay together? Are we too divided? Are we too divided? You know, back when I was in Congress, long time ago, way before Trump ever first got elected, I'd come home every weekend. I'd have town halls every weekend, and I'd ask my constituents that question because I worried then that we couldn't keep it together, that we couldn't stay together. And now here we are 12 years later, and I worry even more. I worry even more that America can't stay together. I worry even more. You've heard me say this. We talked about this around the kitchen table. America is like that married couple on the verge of a divorce. We're there. We're on the verge of a divorce. Are we going to stay together? We're fighting our way maybe through a final round of marriage therapy to see if we can stay together. Today, this is what we talked about in Glen Ellen around a kitchen table. I put that question in front of the 7. We talked about why we're so divided. Will we go through therapy? Do both sides want to go through therapy? Do both sides want to talk to each other and listen to each other? It's just a fascinating conversation. It's my most favorite topic to talk about. As I travel the country and go out every week and have face-to-face conversations with people on the right, people on the left, and everywhere in between, it's the question I most love to ask. Can America stay together, or are we going to break up? Let's and that's what we talked about. The content we'll show you today from Glen Ellen today, sitting around a kitchen table. Keith, let's play what we've got.
I personally think the country is probably done.
Done.
I don't think it can.
Done.
Because
Tell me what you mean by done.
done. Democracy as we know it, I think is probably done. Because you're right. If two sides need therapy, I don't think there's a willingness on both sides to talk to each other. So it's not going to happen. And slowly, it's just going to grow farther and farther apart. I think.
And you think that's kind of on both sides, like the marital, the couple, neither couple really.
Well,
wants to
there's
sit
extremists on both sides, and neither side wants to listen to the other.
Right.
And at least on one side, they're afraid if they speak their mind, what will happen to them.
Yeah.
So I don't see much of a future for the country, and
my personal feeling is that the politicians are not going to get it done, and that's why we're here. If we want to save democracy, I agree with you there. Save our country. I think that people have to be willing to talk to each other. I have a really good friend from Michigan. Her family, since the first time Trump was in office, it's a big family. They're completely divided. They have nothing to do with each other anymore
because of this.
And they just have not found a way to be able to talk to each other. I mean, you have to talk.
Okay, but let's cut to the chase because life is short and none of us are in our 20s. We all got, I know I do, don't we all have people that we've kind of stopped engaging with because of politics
100%.
over the last 6, 8, all of us?
100%.
Friends, family members?
Yeah.
I won't talk politics around certain friends.
Even family
There are
members.
people.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people in our neighborhood across the street that we friendly with and say hello, and no desire to ever go over to their house again ever.
Because of politics.
The divide, yes.
There's just a little taste. Again, a reminder, if you want the full, I think it was about a 10-minute clip from our entire conversation, about 10 minutes where we focused on this topic around that kitchen table. Can we stay together? Are we too divided? Go to Social Contract with joewalsh.substack.com. That's my Substack. Go there and you can listen to the lengthier version of this and all of the conversations I'm having. Again, go to my Substack, Social Contract with joewalsh.substack.com. Longer versions of this topic, of the entire conversation, and really of any conversations. We got into it here though, and most everybody at that table, again, 4 Harris voters, a Trump voter, 2 voters who voted for neither Trump or Harris, to a man and a woman at that table, they all have people now they do not even speak with. Neighbors, family members, friends that they do not speak politics with at all anymore. You heard, I mean, one of the guys there at the table got a neighbor who's a big Trump supporter. I mean, right next door. And they don't even look at each other anymore. He put up his LGBTQ signs, and the neighbor, the Trump supporter, put up his big Trump sign right next door. And they don't talk, and they barely look at each other anymore. But that was a common refrain, a common thread around this table. The other thing I thought was really interesting about this conversation, everybody at the table agreed that we are like a married couple on the verge of a divorce. America is. I think the consensus there among the 7 was hope but doubt that we could stay together. I mean, the one guy, we're done. America is done. One guy at that kitchen table said, we are done. I asked him, what do you mean done? Democracy as we know it, it's over. We're done. America is done. As in now. We don't realize it yet, but we're breaking up as we speak. But these were 7 well-intentioned people in the western suburbs of Chicago. And to a man and a woman, they expressed real doubt, worry, concern, fear that America will stay together, that we may in fact break up. Why? What changed? Why are we so divided? What changed? Well, you can listen to the conversation. They give their explanations. The media, social media, a number of them chimed in. Politicians aren't doing their job. The constant drumbeat of politics, and it's just too much. It's out there all the time. It's who we are. It's our identity. It's in our grills, in our faces 24/7. What changed? Why? How did we get here, right? We talked about at the table. You've all talked about, back in the old days, right? We all had 3 news channels, and back in the old days, Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill would fight like cats and dogs, and then they'd get together and have dinner and a shot of whiskey at night, right? All of that we've all heard. What changed? That was a big part of this conversation. Check it all out. It just was a wonderful conversation. Again, the entire hour-long conversation with these folks sitting around a kitchen table in the western suburbs of Chicago, all there on my Substack. Check it out. Social Contract with Joe Walsh.substack.com. Go there. We've got a number of longer clips. I'm biased. I tend to think it's so interesting to listen to regular people having conversations. Not celebrities, not politicians, not famous people going off or fighting and debating, but just regular Americans having conversations about where the hell this country is at. I find it fascinating. And all of the longer content of this conversation and all of my conversations right there on my Substack. Grab them, listen to them this weekend when you've got some time. Social Contract with Joe Walsh.substack.com. 3 things to get off of my chest this Friday. Thing number 1. Something absolutely horrific happened a couple of nights ago in Washington, D.C. 2 young Jews were targeted and killed right outside a Jewish museum in Washington, D.C. 2 young Jews were targeted and killed by a radical, evil leftist, far leftist, some socialist, an anti-Semite, an act of horrific political violence, an act of domestic terrorism. The killer was from Chicago. He flew to DC. He purposely went to where he knew Jews would be at this event, at this Jewish museum. And he waited and he gunned down, he targeted and gunned down 2 young Jews who also happened to be in love, who also were going to get engaged and get married in Israel this summer. Horrible evil. An act of terrorism. Every American should condemn it. Every American should condemn it. No but. Just horrible, evil, should never happen. That's it. That's the end of the sentence. Every American should condemn anti-Semitism no matter where it comes from. And anti-Semitism comes equally from the far right and the far left. There are more attacks. This is an unsafe time to be a Jew in America. I'm married to a beautiful Jewish woman. This is an unsafe time to be a Jew in America. It's been that way for quite some time. It's an unsafe time to be a Jew in Europe. It's been that way for quite some time. You know, anti-Semitism is a tragically unique thing in that it gets it from both. Jews get it from both the far left and the far right. There are Jew haters, Israel haters on both the far left and the far right. This killer, this evil person this week, who just struck down 2 young lives, comes from the far left. But all of you on the right, man, I don't want to hear it, because of all the acts of anti-Semitism, of all the acts of violence against Jews in this country and in Europe. Man, look at the data, look at the stats, look at the facts, look at the truth, equally from the far right and the far left. Equally. It's the tragically unique thing about anti-Semitism. All of us, every American, should condemn anti-Semitism, no matter which side it comes from. And even if it comes from our side, if you're on the left, you condemn it when it comes from the far left. If you're on the right, you condemn it when it comes from the far right. Final point. We don't shut down speech. We don't censor speech in this country. The killer, the evil killer the other night in Washington, D.C., shouted, "Free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine." He shouted, "Globalize the Intifada, globalize the Intifada." And so there are people saying, "Oh my God, you shouldn't be allowed to say that. That's inciting violence." These protesters on these college campuses the last 19 months, protesting for Gaza, protesting against Israel. You see the signs, you hear the chants, "Free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine." You see it, the Intifada. It's a global Intifada. You have a right in America to criticize Israel. You have a right in America to say free Palestine. The answer, what do we do to stop and defeat anti-Semitism? Well, in America, we don't do it by shutting down speech, by making it illegal to say free Palestine, by making it illegal to say globalize the Intifada. We don't do that in America. We have free speech in America. They do that in Europe, by the way. They criminalize hate speech in damn near every European country. Cops knocking on your door for shit you've said on social media and arresting you. Thank God we don't do that in America. Thank God we have free speech in America. And the whole notion of I love to say this, I don't know anybody more pro-Israel than me. I want to retire and die in Israel. I would defend the state of Israel every bit as much as I'll defend America. But I will defend the right of anybody in this country to exercise their free speech, to criticize Israel, to say that Israel shouldn't exist, to say free Palestine, to say globalize the Intifada. We don't censor speech. And there are people saying that the protesters and everybody who's been shouting free Palestine the last 18 months, 19 months in America, you've got blood on your hands because of what happened the other night. No, they don't. No, you don't. No, they don't. No, you don't. There are sick, evil, bad people in this country. I mean, I have a right to stand in the public square and say that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. And I say that every day. And then if somebody with a screw loose, some bad guy listens to me and hears me say Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, and then he goes and tries to do something stupid and violent against Donald Trump, do I have blood on my hands? No. Stop that. No. I'm exercising my free speech. Stop that. The answer when it comes to free speech in America, you don't like free Palestine, you don't like globalize the Intifada, that speech, we defeat that speech with our speech, with other speech, with speech praising Israel, defending Israel. We defeat anti-Semitism in this country, not by censoring or shutting down speech. We defeat anti-Semitism by standing with and defending our Jewish brothers and sisters, standing with, marching with, defending, sticking up for. That, exercising our speech to defend Jews and Israel. That's how we defeat anti-Semitism. Thing number 2. Keith, show me that picture of Trump holding up that picture of dead white farmers from South Africa. Look at that. Only one problem. It wasn't South Africa. That picture Trump held up in the Oval Office the other day when he ambushed the Prime Minister of South Africa, that picture's from the Congo. Those are farmers slain in Congo, not South Africa. One of a gazillion lies Trump put out in the Oval Office the other day when he ambushed and attacked the head of South Africa. Congo. The President of the United States held up a picture, pointed at a picture and said, see, these are white farmers in South Africa who are being targeted and slain. And it wasn't a picture of farmers from South Africa. It was a picture of farmers from the Congo. Every time that guy, Donald Trump, opens his mouth, he tells a lie. Every single time. That was just one of a number of lies, bullshit, falsehoods, and lies that Trump told about the lie of the conspiracy of a genocide against white farmers in South Africa. To spread that conspiracy, Trump lied. Oops, the Congo. But you won't hear that. You will never hear, so many Americans will never hear the correction of the lie. They'll never see that picture of Trump holding up a picture from Congo. They won't see that or hear that on Fox News. I've said so often, I've said so many times that I get tired of saying it. Donald Trump's greatest legacy is the destruction of truth. Say that again, Joe. Okay, I will, MAGA. Donald Trump's greatest legacy is the destruction of truth. I said after he lost the 2020 election that ultimately Trump will win because he'll convince his supporters that he actually won the 2020 election. And he did. To this day, 70, 80% of Republicans believe Trump won the 2020 election. 80% of Trump's voters believe that Haitian migrants in America are eating cats and dogs. I could go on. The truth. It's Trump's, the destruction of truth is Trump's greatest legacy. We have so many Americans now who gravitate toward untruths, who gravitate toward lies and bullshit and conspiracies. We have such a frighteningly large percentage of the American population that is completely untethered to truth. And to a large degree, it's because of Donald Trump. America doesn't seem to care, but America again elected last November someone who lies damn near every time he opens his mouth. I'll get into this on Monday. Trump telling Harvard they can no longer take international students, and all the international students at Harvard need to go. Utterly fascist. And Kristi Noem out there, who announced the policy, who announced and said, we're no longer going to allow international students to attend Harvard. By the way, that's 27% of Harvard's student population. Kristi Noem said, let this be a warning to every other college and university in America. If you don't get your act together, the government's coming after you. This is fascism. This is what fascism looks and sounds like. Just do me a favor. Like me, stand with Harvard, stand against the Trump administration. Like me, stand with freedom and private universities and free speech and the private sector and private companies, and stand against fascism, stand against a king, stand against an authoritarian. This is ignorant. This is stupid. This is xenophobic. This is nativist. This is cruel. It's un-American. It's also, though, get rid of all international students in our colleges and our universities. Get rid of them all. Talk about setting America way, way back. Talk about taking a meat cleaver to the American economy. Talk about really impacting this country economically, negatively, economically. Go ahead and do that. Oh my God, you talk about the trade deficit. This is a trade surplus. Our colleges and universities, we have something in this world that no other country has. Our colleges and our universities, people from around the world come here for our colleges and our universities. No other country in the world can match the quality, the level of our colleges and our universities. We got a trade surplus with every other country in the world when it comes to our colleges and our universities. And Donald Trump wants to build a wall around America and keep international students out. And by the way, when he says no more international students at Harvard or any other college and university, that's where he's going. He's also talking about Israeli students. Supposedly this began to protect Jewish students at Harvard and other colleges and universities. International means Israel too. That means no more students from Israel too. Look, it's unlawful and it's unconstitutional, and it is going to be challenged in court immediately. And like damn near everything else Trump has done, which has been unconstitutional, it's been overturned just like yesterday or the day before, right? Shit happens so fast. A federal judge said, no, Donald Trump, you don't have the constitutional authority to get rid of the federal Department of Education. You can't, right? Duh. Told you that at the time 2 months ago. Trump doesn't have the authority to do it. Congress, by law, started the Department of Education. So per our Constitution, only Congress by law can eliminate it. That's been the tale of the tape. That's been the story from the beginning. Donald Trump doing unconstitutional thing after unconstitutional thing, unlawful thing after unlawful thing, and damn near all of it getting overturned, but it takes time and damage is being done. The chill that this is putting among students around the world when Trump comes out and says no more international students at an American university, it'll be challenged in court. It'll be overturned. The courts will say down the road, Trump doesn't have the authority to do it. But oh my God, the chill. And oh my God, don't we know already now there are students, young people from around the world who now are no longer even thinking about coming here because of Donald Trump, coming to school here because of Donald Trump. Look at all the brain power, all the talent we're going to lose from around the world because of Donald Trump. Thanks for listening, everybody. Keep the faith. Take some time this weekend and chill. Keep the faith. Keep the fight going. Shoot me an email if you want to shoot me an email about anything. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. All one word, shoot me an email. The website, oneflaginitiative.org. That's all one word too. oneflaginitiative.org. Go there. Join me and all the others who are signing up to join the No Kings movement. We don't have kings in America. There are no kings in America. No kings in America. No kings in America. Join the No Kings movement. Go to oneflaginitiative.org. Oneflaginitiative.org. That's all one word, One Flag Initiative. By the way, our One Flag merchandise is in. Order your No Kings t-shirt, your No Kings ball caps, your No Kings hoodie. Become part of the No Kings movement. Thank you for listening. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social